What's up, my fellow Springless gamers? Welcome to the stream. Sorry for the delay. As some of you might know, I posted messages saying that the streams are delayed due to internet service providers that were working on their servers. But we are finally live, and we are going to hop straight into the Dying to Know of Dying Light 2 episode 1. I see that Phoenix is in the chat. Poras Lady is here. Welcome, welcome. Lord Kratos is here. What's up, Mr. Lord Kratos? Tristan. Joining me in the watch party will be Phoenix Stack, as well as Nightshade. So, yeah, let's get started.
Still watching now.
Break your contact. Now run!
Loving the music.
Yeah, it's dope.
Hello guys, nice to meet you. I'm Leah, and this is Dying to Know. If you're dying to know what's going on in the world of Dying Light 2, then you're in the right place. Here we'll be showing you all the news, the latest from the Dying Light world. We'll be announcing a few contests, we'll be talking to developers, and probably most importantly, we're going to be showing you a brand new gameplay trailer where you can see the current state of the Dying Light 2 game. But first, there's someone here I need to introduce you to.
What do you mean?
No idea.
I'm a pilgrim, an outcast.
Just make sure your quality is
like a
correct.
Japanese Ronin,
My quality is supposed to be running
West
perfectly.
desperado. My past is dark.
Because
My
on mine
future
it's fine.
Has a tiny, dying light at the end of this tunnel.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Daniel Gooch?
Hello, guys. My name is Jonah Scott, and I voice Aiden Caldwell in Dying Light 2. But before that, I'm going to host this program with Leia, if you don't mind.
My pleasure. Well, I'm ready. Jonah's definitely ready.
Hoe
And I
leuk
hope
die video
you're
niet zo
ready.
klanken.
So if you're dying to know, just like us,
It's
stick
for
with
me,
us.
but let me check on the stream.
The story told in Dying Light 2 occurs 20 years after the events
So
of the
delayed.
first game. And if you're wondering what happened in those intervening
Yeah,
20
the
years,
stream
there's no
audience
better
and
person to
the
ask than the
picture
Dying
isn't
Light
linked,
2
eh?
world director, Thomas Gabao, with who I'll be talking in a moment.
And after that, I'll be speaking with Piet Jemenic, the narrative director of the game,
Okay,
so about the
now?
characters that appear in Dying Light 2.
Yes, much better, much better.
Yeah, it's praising the thing.
Okay, cool.
Welcome to the show, Thomas. So the first question I have for you today is, do I need to have played Dying Light 1 to sort of understand what's happening in Dying Light 2?
No, actually, you don't. Like you mentioned before, our game takes place some 20 years later, in a world where humankind has lost the war to the virus. So,
Right.
in a way, you could say that Dying Light 2 takes us to the world beyond the apocalypse.
Intriguing. All right, tell me more, please.
Well, you remember the events of Heron in 2014. Well, after that, world leaders, they had a tough choice to make. They had to isolate the city of Heron.
Right.
For that, they created an exclusion zone. Like in Chernobyl, only a lot more people were left to die inside the walls.
Yeah, right. So they just isolated the entire city. And did it help? Did it stop the virus?
Bro, I
Yeah,
love the
for a while it
background
worked.
setting that they created.
Enough for everyone to
Yeah.
forget about
Literally
it, at
gives
least.
the Dying Light
Only in
vibe.
secret, a handful of
Yeah,
scientists
and especially in the new
continued to
game, the
study virus.
gameplay we've seen,
You know,
it looks so
manipulating its
good.
DNA, creating new strains. They were looking for commercial military applications. So, you know, they're doing it for the money, really.
Yeah, of course. So
Wait,
what
thanks a lot,
happened
bro.
next?
Check you later, bro.
Well, next, the shit hit the fan. By Christmas 2021, one of these mutated strains escaped from a level 4 laboratory located near Geneva. We don't really know if this was accidental or not, but this time the virus was much faster than any government. Before the world could react,
probably found out in the
civilization was
game.
on the brink of collapse. People were dying in the streets, capital cities were burning. By the end of 2023, 98% of the population had been lost to the virus. There was a few settlements remaining, but only one city was still standing. The last bastion of mankind, our city, Villador, aka the city.
Right, so Villador is what we have left. So that's everything that's happened outside of the city. What actually happens inside Villador?
Well, the city has unique rules. First of all, it's surrounded by seemingly impassable walls. And inside the walls, the people that decided to use a radical new weapon against the infection, which actually gave them the upper hand in the first stages of the pandemic.
Okay.
But it also created terrifying new monster archetypes. 15 years on, a new
It looks so
equilibrium sort of
freaky.
emerged in the city. By daylight, human factions fight to control the city, and at night, the streets become the realm of these bloodthirsty, infected monsters.
Great. Well, that is extremely interesting. Thank you very much, Thomas. And we'll be hearing more about the vibrant and fantastic city soon,
So
I
only
hope.
2%
But
of the
first,
world's
I think we need to
population
hear
is
a little bit
left.
more about the
Yeah,
characters.
it's grim.
That's not bad.
Our second guest is a man of two industries, cinema and gaming. In a previous life, he wrote the hit HBO series Wataha?
Wataha, yeah.
Wataha. And then he moved on to Techland to become a narrative director. Piotr Jemenek.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
So we have plenty of time to talk about the rest of the characters in Dying Light 2. There are tons of them. But today, I think we want to focus on Aiden Caldwell, the protagonist. You want to talk more about him? Or?
Yeah, sure. So, Aiden, he's the member of Outcasts, you know? The group of people traveling through this dangerous world of Dying Light 2, called pilgrims, because he's looking for his relative, the person whom he lost many, many years ago, and that person is his only memory from the past, and the only answer to whom Aiden really is.
Aiden is a really rich, deep character, very much cooler than I am.
Oh, no, come on.
I mean, he can run across buildings, jump from rooftop to rooftop, use all kinds of weapons.
Yeah, well, you know, he didn't have much choice. This world is full of infected, bloodthirsty creatures, so he didn't have much choice, right? The weak die, the strong survive, and Aiden, he just has to be strong. But why did he come like that? Why him? That's the main question of the game, and the player will have opportunity also to decide how Aiden will evolve. Will he help the weak? Will it distract him from his main goal? Or maybe he will just strive to the end of his search as soon as possible.
I can't imagine trying to survive or live in a city like that as a lone wolf by yourself without any kind of support.
Well, he's not gonna be alone, you know. He will meet many people. But again, depending on the player choices, some of them will become his allies, but some of them will become his enemies. One of the group he will encounter are the Night Runners, the former special force officers who were sick of the army's cynicism and lack of concern for common people. But they were brave enough to help the people during the night. And the night, as you know, is pretty horrifying in the game.
Yeah, so Aiden joins them, joins the
That's
Night
why I
Runners.
couldn't finish
Oh,
the first Dying
That's the
Light.
question, my friends, the player will have to answer too. I won't spoil the pleasure of discovering Aiden's actions and true motivations, but what I can share with you is the fact that we really put big effort to make this character and many others complex and multidimensional. But there is so much more to be discovered during the game.
I'm gonna win an
Fascinating. Can't wait to learn more. Thank you so much, Piotr.
Thank you.
The only thing new they showed so far is the Night Runners.
So before we watch the gameplay trailer of Dying Light 2 for the first time, we need to talk about something which is basically at the center of the Dying Light universe, which is
The community. Over the past few years, Dying Light has amassed over 23 million players and a 95% positive review
Yes.
rating on Steam.
which in Steam Talk is overwhelmingly positive, so bravo.
Yeah, we'd like to take a few seconds and thank you guys.
Thank you all for being on this journey with us. Thank you for sharing your love with others of Dying Light. And thank you for
That's a
these great
pleasure. Wish
moments
I could have
spent
finished
together.
the game.
Dying Light 1 has some amazingly creative fans, which is fantastic, pardon the pun, because we're going to be starting a brand new contest which will combine your love of Dying Light with that same creativity.
With the release date of Dying Light 2 drawing ever closer, we'd like to extend our hand and invite you to make the community a little bit bigger. If you find yourself skilled in the ways of visual arts, writing, or costumes and cosplay, please join the Dying Light universe.
So check out dyinglightgame.com/contest, and if you win, there's a fantastic monetary prize on the line. But also, there's some other great rewards you could be in with a chance with winning as well.
Like Platinum Edition of Dying Light. Look at this. This is the finest edition of Dying Light ever made. This is the Platinum Edition of Dying Light. This has every bit of content ever released for Dying Light in one place. It's massive. I mean, look at it.
For those of you who haven't experienced Dying Light yet, we are introducing Dying Light 1
That's
Platinum
what she
Edition.
said.
It's the biggest and most complete edition to have ever existed.
And we're offering it to you now at an historically low price. All the content, lowest price.
There's literally no better time to buy than now, and you can get it on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Get your Platinum Edition of Dying Light now. This is the best offer, like, ever. I guess we don't have time to go over everything that's in the Platinum Edition, but it is everything. This is how it looks.
It costs $447 at the moment.
$450.
And remember, they also did collabs and everything.
Bro, you know, I'm thinking we need to stream this before the release. I've seen the release date, so for those of you guys watching now, the release date is 7th of December 2021, so the 7th of December this year. I think we need to stream it close to December. What do you guys think?
I'm up for it.
It's co-op, isn't it?
Yeah, you can play the entire game co-op.
100%. Yeah, I think that's where I might not be that afraid.
Well, you say that, but I'll send you a clip that happened to Spiegel.
No!
Okay, so I'm excited because you guys are in just a second gonna see the official gameplay trailer for Dying Light 2. And then after that, we're gonna interview some of the devs that made
I'm
it
so
possible.
hyped.
So, without further ado, here it is.
Let's go, boys!
Hey everyone, we've been quiet for some time. Since,
It's
like the
beautiful.
rest of the world, we had some unforeseen hurdles to clear. But the wait is over. Let's dive into the open world of Dying Light 2.
Bro, those new animations? I've
The
heard that they
last
doubled
slice
the
of Dying
animations.
Light 2 showcased
Oh,
a
I
mission
really
from the
hope
main
so.
storyline.
You get after those fuckers.
This is the whole
You saw how
gameplay
your
though.
decisions influenced the narrative and notably changed the environment. This time, we want to give you a broader look at the game and a sneak peek at some of the things we'll be talking about in
Is that a blitz?
Bro, there's a blimp.
In Dying Light 2, you become Aiden Caldwell, an outsider trying to unravel a tangled mystery from his past. Its trail leads him to the city, probably the last bastion of
I just won
mankind
it
in the world.
Freak you, Nate.
We're not in a PlayStation party.
At first, you feel like this intense, brutal place will tear you apart. But then you meet the Night Runners, veteran survivors who help people in better days.
By the way, I'm Hakon.
Like, why you're scared, bro? We used to play this game on hardest difficulty with only using melee weapons.
A myth.
Yeah, I'm just built different.
And although it's not entirely
I scare
clear
easily.
you can trust them,
Like, we even had a
You
challenge to
need
see who can
allies in
survive
the
the
dark.
longest at night with only using keyboard.
I hate those things. I hate those things.
and these are
I'm
the
sorry.
Dark Ages.
They're actually
It's been
pretty funny
15 years
if you
since the
think
apocalypse,
about it.
and the world has changed. The old civilization
Please show us
has
some new
fallen.
zombies. I
A
need some
one
new
has
ones.
been built on its ashes. People fight desperately for scarce resources. Rules are broken, and weakness is punished.
Oh crap.
Three factions struggle
apparently
for
not that
position in the
innocent.
city. Survivors pride themselves on being able to adapt to any circumstances and cobble together safe zones almost everywhere. Peacekeepers, loyal soldiers who want to impose their version of law and order and trample all in their path. Renegades, ex-prisoners serving their ruthless colonel, seeking to become sole rulers of the city.
Where is Wolves? Make him tell me.
Use these factions to reach your goal. Help or harm them to reshape the city to your liking.
I've heard about that.
Yeah,
Where you determine the city.
Each faction
What
contains complex
the city
characters.
turns into.
yeah, it's gonna be so good.
Nosy Parker, ain't ya? Got some kind of bad habit of yours?
Oh, the game
So,
looks so
will you
beautiful.
follow cold
Yeah, it
calculations
does.
or your heart?
The bazaar needs good people. Help us and you'll find a home here.
Some in the city offer no chance for an alliance. Bandits, outlaws, and common thugs live only to plunder and kill, plunging the streets into chaos. Yet, nightfall scares all of them
Speedless.
equally.
You know what's coming, right?
No, what's coming?
Good night. Good luck.
Darkness changes the rules of the world. As the
Good
light
night,
fails,
good luck.
monsters crawl out of hiding to prey
And
on
goodbye.
the poor souls caught outside the safety of UV rays. Hordes of infected pour into the streets like decaying lava. The deadly spawn of 15 years of mutation and
What
evolution.
is this?
What the hell is that?
Oh, this thing seems to be fun with you.
Your only escape?
Well,
Exploit
not yet,
the
there's your new
city's
zombies.
verticality and flee to the
Yes.
Well, they aren't zombies apparently.
They're infected,
Even
yeah.
there, you are never safe from swift and deadly virals.
Okay, so the UV light is like your best weapon.
No.
Yet night brings
Your
opportunities.
best weapon
well.
is the drop kick.
Nests rightly infected during
Yeah,
the day.
but even in the
Oh,
first
yeah.
game, UV, you can't survive without it.
To
Drop kick
explore
and
them,
run, bro.
You must tread carefully.
And stealth arrows.
But those brave enough to face the terrors of the night can loot a jackpot.
Yeah, Stealth Barret nice.
Oh
Big
my
Stealth Barret.
goodness.
Is that Anderson?
What is this?
Anderson.
POV, you're taking the corona vaccine.
Well, if it's Anderson, it's only a temporary fix.
Luckily, you have all the tools you need to survive.
Oh, the parkour.
Bro,
Your
this
extraordinary
looks
parkour skills
insane.
allow you to navigate even the most treacherous terrain.
And it's so accurate as well.
Yeah.
Okay, except that jump, it looks like you had a boost there.
There was a trampoline below him.
On the roofs,
Oh,
you
I
can
didn't
count on
see
your
that.
parkour acrobatics to save your life.
Drop kick!
Drop kick,
It's
you'll have to face your
good.
enemies
Told
head-on.
you, drop kick.
Then you have to be smart.
Oh, that is stealth into the game. Well, we saw that in the previous ones as well, but
And determined.
Dying Light 1 didn't have much stealth.
We've worked hard on the essence of our combat, making sure swinging
There was
a
stealth
big
in Dying
melee
Light.
weapon is fun, satisfying, and well executed. But even the most brutal fights can be tactical as well. You have multiple ways to hone your skills toward the gameplay style that suits you best. It's up to you if you focus mostly on mobility and parkour, or aggressive, blunt force combat, or a crafty approach where the tools you've created get the job done. Every ability you learn can be a game changer and possibly a new favorite move. Things move fast and quick in Dying Light 2. Each moment matters. Each move could mean triumph or defeat. Choose
I
your
really
actions
like
and
that
friends
chick.
carefully.
I'm gonna ban her.
Everything you do in the city can reshape the game.
Based on the game's not yet out, it's
change
coming
the
out
course of the narrative,
7th
and
of
decide
December.
the fate of the city's residents. But most importantly, you decide.
But you
your
can
own
play the
fate as
first
well.
one. The first one.
Make sure.
Yeah, the first one
to
is out.
stay human.
They released the platinum. See, when they say you have to stay human, that's everybody's infected with the
An
virus already. You
extensive
have to fight against it.
post-apocalyptic world. And I really like that divisiveness. You know, the life on the roof and then death on the streets.
Yeah, like the intensity of the day and the night cycle together.
It's almost like Dying Light 2 is two different games put together into one.
Yeah, like despite that, despite all the brutality going on the ground floor, there's something about like the rooftops and the plants and
It's
stuff.
cozy.
Yeah, I kind of want to be there. But it does feel like every decision is vital. Like your choices actually do have some consequences.
Choices and consequences are incredibly vital to Dying Light 2's gameplay. And we're going to interview some devs and
Oh,
talk about
yes.
some other very vital gameplay mechanics.
You played the first one. I couldn't finish the first one. I was
Our
too
next
scared.
guest is
Nah,
Adrian
bro,
Pisa
come
Krzyzewski.
on.
Listen, I'll
Welcome,
play
and
this
that
one.
gameplay looked
Well,
awesome.
make sure you
I don't
play the
know if we
first
put
one
our
before
hands
we-
on
The
it,
mission
but
where you were
Yeah,
supposed
for
to
sure.
plant
It looks
the
like you guys have a
bombs
very
inside the building.
unique world and a very unique game. Where y'all get your inspiration from?
Oh, that was a research. We did
Like
deep
that
dive
mission is
into
just
the
in this, like
history
it's
of our
dark. You have to
work,
be
and we
inside a
found
building and
repetitive
plant certain
patterns.
bombs
We
on
found
certain
that people use
floors.
the same behaviors in the past after the fall of civilization or after the fall of the nation that's supposed to be a backbone of our
That was
work.
that was the
So
mission that
our
almost
approach
made
was
me not
super
finish the
simple.
game.
We just copycat those behaviors and attitudes and show you how our world would look like after the fall. However, it's kind of obvious that the main reason that civilization fall is virus pandemic or eventually the economical collapse. Yeah, that's basically obvious thing. But it's even darker if you connect those things with the research we did at the beginning of the production. So people will question everything. They're gonna blame everything and everyone that's supposed to guide us in our lives every day. So they're gonna blame governments, they're gonna blame law, they're gonna blame science, or even religion. Some people might ask themselves that, where was God when it happened to us, basically, you know? So I feel that all of those things together creates the sensation that it's a giant step backward for our civilization.
So, Dying Light 2 has a subtitle, Stay Human. What does that mean?
In other words, everything that would happen if the people took the corona vaccine.
Remember those values that makes us human, so like compassion
the
or
2%
support.
that didn't take the vaccine will be whatever you see.
Those dark times we have is a big test for everyone. And I think it's even harder test because to stay human, people would sacrifice what's the most important for them or sometimes risk their lives.
Wow, so that's like really intense. And there's like the obvious like double meaning to it, which is what I was thinking. Stay human, don't become a zombie.
Yeah, but one disclaimer, those are not zombies, you know? Those are infected people that turn to be a monster. They're just crossing a line, you know, and they're turning to be a monster, you know? Because in Dying Light, we all infected. Yeah, we're all wearing this biomarker, you know, Aiden. Yeah. You're wearing this, I'm wearing this.
That's a watch.
That's a watch, actually, but you know that, you know? So that's the thing. So the challenge is to not cross this line at all costs. So that's the biggest challenge of staying human in this meaning.
I see, yeah, not zombies.
Not zombies.
Not zombies.
At all.
People have crossed the line.
Right, well, fascinating. Thank you so much, Adrian. We're definitely going to be hearing from you again soon.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We have with us Katarzyna Tarnacka, the environmental art director.
Hi. And we have game designer Michał Duzak.
Hello. So, choices and consequences. The player has to make a choice, and they have to experience or endure the consequences. What does that mean?
Basically, the whole system of choice and consequences is really, really complex. I would say the best way to describe it is that the player is making the decisions based on 3 layers. First one are the choices that you do during the main story missions. And those big changes actually can change the whole game or even how the story ends. The second layer are choices that you do while the quests. And those choices can actually influence the mission itself. And the last layer is so-called city alignment system. And I, as an open world game designer, would like to focus on.
Please do, go on.
All right, so water and electricity are basically a key to survive in every world. By restoring it, player can not only unlock the water or electricity in the area, but he can also, based on his decision, assign it to one of the factions, which will influence how the district looks like or who's going to live inside of it. But it also, what is pretty more important for a player, unlock new tools for him, like unique tools for each factions, like car traps, zip lines, or trampoline. That player can use in exploration to deal with bandits or infected, or simply to move faster through the city. So basically, based on your choices, you shape the game environment, which gives you a different experience every time you start a new game. And what is worth mentioning here that Dying Light 2 is playable up to 4
Yes,
players.
it's a
So you can host the game or join other players and see how their choices came up differently to your own.
Interesting.
There's one thing I'm really curious about, though. Night versus day. How does the gameplay differ from the night and the day?
Well, the short answer is that day is for humans and night is for the monsters. But to describe it a little bit better, I would say that during the day, humans, factions, bandits, or survivors scavenging the city and searching for some scraps or someone who might have them. And this is the best time for a player to explore the city, meet its citizens, learn their stories, day-to-day agenda, or even simply help them in a quest or open world activities to survive those dark ages.
Yeah, and that sounds quite pleasant, but I'm guessing night changes everything.
Exactly, exactly. During the night, all the infected get out of the buildings, and compared to the Dying Light 1, the night is going to be even more intense this time. intense in terms of the amount of enemies,
that
the new
sounds
types, and new,
horrible.
more aggressive behaviors. And what
I'm
is
gonna finish the
important,
game
this
tonight.
time night can mean also opportunity. An opportunity for the
So
players
Nightshade, day
are
one challenge,
courage and
complete the
skilled
game on the
enough
hardest
to
difficulty.
use the
Let's
fact
go.
that all the
It's
infected are
hardest difficult
outside
without sleeping.
and buildings are accessible to explore them and search for the most valuable loot in the game.
Katarzyna, you're responsible for the
Please, that's how we played
post-apocalyptic
Dying Light
look
1. We
of
played
the
the
city.
game.
Can you tell us a little bit
weren't
how
allowed to
about the
sleep.
city became to look that way?
Yes, I guess the important thing to realize is in 2025, decision
And
was
also
made
we weren't allowed to
use a
like hide
chemical attack
when
to
it's
stop
night.
the spread of the Haran virus. And
be horrible
the
for me
result
then.
is a tight ring of chemically active areas around the city. Some of the
I can already sense this
chemicals
game's gonna have a
the
ton of
groundwater
different
and
endings. It's gonna have
spread
at
under the
least 3
surface,
different
killing
endings.
every
Yeah,
living
I
plant
can't
and
wait for
every
it.
living thing in its reach.
And the fact
What it
is
means
they
for the
already
city
showed
is that
in
the
one of the
street
gameplay
levels
trailers,
are
they already
virtually
showed a
dead.
main
The
character
soil
dying.
is unable to sustain any life, any plant, and the street level is a domain of the monsters, just decaying in every aspect.
Wow. So it sounds like there's just no healthy organic life down there at all.
Not really. The survival on the street level is pretty tough. So the common people are just visitors there, but the life prevailed. It moved up to the rooftops. And this is where the plants are flourishing and blooming in the
I'm sorry, I just can't get over how
post-apocalyptic
beautiful this
landscape.
game
And
is.
this is where
Yeah,
people
the fact is that
build
the
and
bottoms
develop
look so
the new
dark, and
world
when you
of
get on the
Dying
rooftop,
Light
it's
2.
so beautiful and
Electricity
bright.
producing windmills and safe zones for the player. And in a
Wow.
way, in a metaphorical sense, the rooftops are the new default ground floor, the level 0. And trip to the streets is, in a way, a trip underground, a -1 of sorts, just a corpse of
On the street
of
you're in
a
now.
lost civilization.
Just say it as it
To
is.
say the least, I can't imagine being a citizen living in that city, let alone being a player, and how challenging that's going to be.
Yeah, and hold that thought. Thank you very much for joining us today, but it's now time to introduce our next guests.
Who's next?
With us now are Bartosz and Peter. And guys, I have one question about the open world in Dying
Peter.
Light 2. How big is it?
Bro,
It's pretty
the
big.
spelling.
We know
They're
that.
Polish,
Tell
aren't
us
they?
more?
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
they're Polish.
The map in Dying Light 2 is divided into 2 huge regions and several zones.
Okay.
There are plenty leftovers from the lost civilization for you to scavenge. But we didn't want our players to perceive the map only horizontally, so we see the map as a multi-level 3D world that supports your traversal and helps you solve parkour puzzles.
Yes, in-house we call it multi-layer open world exploration. And you know, the movement system from Dying Light 1, we remove every restriction from the player. You can move everywhere you want, how you want to do it. And when I think about it, I think that was a big challenge for us to create the geometry that supports all
This
of
is
that.
Dying Light 1, by the way.
And we did it, and I think we did it well. Doing the same thing in Dying Light 2
can see the graphical
wasn't our
difference.
goal.
Yeah.
Like one or more step forward to surprise the player expectation. That's why we doubled the number of parkour.
Doubled it,
Doubled.
yes!
And I mean, it's not like there was a shortage in Dying Light 1, so what?
Yes, the iconic Dying Light 1 parkour is
Oh,
essential.
the new,
We
the
improve it.
new
We
grappling
double the
hook
number
is so
of parkour
fun.
moves. The players will see over 3,000 different parkour animations, from the basic move, through the tricks, to the small little tasty details there that you can see it.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to stop you there, but don't hate me because in the next episode, we're gonna be talking more about parkour and how the team have managed to make an authentic urban running experience in Dying Light 2.
Thank you guys so much for the information. Bartosz, Peter, it's been a pleasure.
Well, the guy on the right
Thank you
side
very
looks
much.
like he can just ace any game he touches. If he touches a controller, he's just...
Okay, so the last and arguably the most important question I'm sure you have is when is the release date?
There we
That
go,
is a
come on,
very,
guys.
Very, very important question.
Kieran, welcome to
And
the
luckily,
stream.
we have the answer. And that answer is the 7th of December!
Yay!
Waited years
Let's
to say
get
that
a
out
demo,
loud.
yeah.
And now that we know the release date of the game, it's time for you to go pre-order it. Go to dyinglight.com/pre-order, select your platform, and then hit pre-order. And there you go. Congratulations. You just pre-ordered one of the most anticipated games of this year. Go you.
Oh, definitely. Go you, yay! So who's gonna lend me money?
Oh, wow. I want one.
Oh, look
Well,
at that
I've got good news for
collector's
you then, because this
edition.
official figurine is part of the collector's edition of Dying Light 2, and you can get one for yourself if you want. We'll leave like a proper unboxing of the whole set to the professionals, but we do have it all in front of us right now, so it'd be rude not to take a look. You get, in the collector's edition, a concept art book full of stunning artwork from the game. You get this steel book, which will have your game
I want this
inside it, of
collector's
course.
edition now, to
And
be
you get
honest.
this,
Yeah,
interesting
it's so
little sort of
expensive
UV
though.
flashlight, so yeah.
Cool. It looks like there's all sorts of vanity elements in here too, like some legendary skin packs, as well as all sorts of digital elements. For more information on these digital elements, please visit the pre-order website. I want this, and I want Dying Light 2.
Kind of thought you'd say that. Well, if you're feeling the same way, then I've got good news, because you can pre-order the collector's edition. However, it is very, very limited, so you'll have to be very quick.
Rest assured, there will be plenty of the standard edition for your standard gamer, but if you're into special editions, there is a deluxe edition of Dying Light 2 with a steel book, legendary pack, and a digital soundtrack, and much, much more.
So to summarize, that's 3 different editions that you can buy depending on what you're after.
I
And if
counted
you just
4.
can't wait until release to get immersed in the world of Dying Light 2, then why don't you go
I mean, the
check out
Ultimate
Tech
Edition
Dome
isn't the
Gamers
same
and
as
Goodies
the
website
Collector's
for more
Edition.
info.
It
This
is.
is a program for
The
all
Ultimate
gamers,
Edition
whether or
has the
not you
same
want
things as the
updates on
collector's
Dying Light
edition,
2
just
with
the
the news,
statue.
or you want Dying Light 2 items in Dying Light 1. Everyone's going to find something they like there.
Yep, and this is just an initial
So more
offering
things in
as
Dying Light
well.
1.
Check back later
Nice.
for even more
Always
details,
that.
more
That game just
information, and
keeps
we'll be going
giving.
through it in future episodes.
Yeah, like I told you earlier today, it hasn't stopped receiving updates
That's
since
it.
it
Don't forget
released.
to pre-order the game and take part in our contests. The details are on the game's website.
And here's a sneak peek at the topic of the next episode. Thank you for watching, and stay safe out there. Bye!
See ya!
Oh, it's the zombies.
Infected.
Oh, infected, yeah.
Oh, guess what I'm downloading tonight?
Oh, mine's already downloaded.
Dying Light. Sprite can't push things. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting, eh?
Yeah, I'm just over the moon excited for this game.
Okay, well, I think that's about it. Okay, I think I'm gonna end the stream. It's probably gonna be, and then I'll just restart in like 15 minutes or so with everything updated.
The Horizon stream is in. Well, this time at least you'll be on time for Horizon.
Yeah, at least I'll be on time for Horizon. Okay, I'll be with you guys now. Okay, so there you guys have it, my fellow Splinter's gamers. Thank you for being here. Be sure to join us. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just focus on Dying Light 2 for now. This was insane. The game looks amazing. Everything just looks great. So, yeah, I will see you guys again. Be sure to join me at 11 in like the next. Be sure to join me in like the next 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes or so. Then I'll start the stream again. We will be watching the Horizon Forbidden West gameplay reveal. So, yeah. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys later.